What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. So I'm pretty excited, guys. We've got the patch notes for 2.6.7. I've had a read of them. They're pretty interesting, some really cool bits in there. It's going to be an exciting season ahead. PTR is going to start in a few days, so it's going to be pretty busy from Thursday onwards, but I thought we'll just make a quick video reacting to them, reacting to the notes and going through them in a quick and concise manner, hopefully. Now, starting with the notes in a nutshell, the PTR is going to start in 3 days time, so that is October the 17th, which is Thursday, so that's pretty cool. We are going to get some pretty big changes. We're going to get basically new sets for two of the classes, so Monk and Crusader are both going to get new sets, so that's really cool. We're also going to get some item changes for them as well, which we will go through in a bit of detail. Barbarian has also got an absolute stack of changes, so there's plenty of legendary items that are changing. Some of the set bonuses are changing, which is quite interesting. We're getting a new seasonal theme, Pandemonium, so we'll go through that in a bit of detail. And importantly, we're also getting 2 nerfs to 2 of the best builds. So guys, before we dive into all these notes in a little bit of detail, I'll just invite you to subscribe if you haven't. The channel's been growing really well lately, so I'm really pleased to everybody who has subbed. But if you haven't done so already, please hit that sub button. So I think we'll start with the season theme. It's going to be the Season of Eternal Conflict. Really cool name, really like that. The buff is called Pandemonium, and it is kind of like a stacking effect. So for the duration of the season, all players will have a stacking buff that persists as long as they've hit or killed a monster within 5 seconds. So again, it's going to encourage quick gameplay. You want to kill things, hit things quickly. Each stack gives you a 0.05% move speed and 0.1% bonus damage. The move speed is capped at 50 and up to 100% damage at 1000 stacks. So that's really cool. Instantly straight away you're thinking, well, 50% move speed, that's going to be quite interesting for speed builds. Double damage again is always a really nice modifier. We've seen how important the Squirt's necklace being added to the game has been. Now also, in addition, after reaching a certain number of kills in a row, a power is unleashed depending on the kind of amount of kills you get, so it scales upwards and it's based on player level and difficulty or greater rift level. So it doesn't really kind of say how these are activated, but the idea is that as you go through this kill chain, you're going to get these extra bonuses that are going to pop up, and some of them sound pretty interesting. So 15 kills, massive energy twisters, you know, that's obviously going to be pretty easy to get. 30 kills, dark geysers from beneath enemies, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like a new effect. Maybe it's going to be like, I don't know, volcano from the Barb. At 50 kills, exploding chickens, obviously that's like a kind of witch doctory type thing. They're going to seek and destroy that. It's going to be pretty cool, pretty funny. 100 kills, corpses rain from the sky, obviously love the sound of that one, pretty necro orientated. 150 kills, a white frost nova freezing enemies, really useful for the necro, for the crispins, but obviously frost nova is a wizard skill, so that's quite interesting. 200 treasure chests fall from the sky. Now, I presume these do damage. I'm not sure whether we get to open these or not. That's pretty interesting. I have to work that out. 300, a ring of fire engulfs everything. That sounds pretty baller. 400, meteors hail from above, so that's going to be kind of like your wizard meteor shower, I guess. And then 500, angels descend upon the battlefield to fight by your cause, or fight for your cause. That sounds amazing. And then in complete tease fashion, 1000 kills, nobody knows. So yeah, nice race for everybody to get to that on Thursday. I obviously won't win, but it'll be really cool to see what that is. So it's going to be twice as good as angels fighting by your side, so that's quite interesting. Now it says powers attract at group level. This means only one power can be active in play at any time, regardless of the number of players in a group. So you're not going to get like loads of this crazy stuff going on all at once. It's literally going to be one at a time. I only play solo really, so pretty much I'm going to have to earn these myself. But it sounds interesting, you know. It's the move speed I think is really cool. I think that's nice. All these extra effects will be really cool to look at. I think it will make the game very interesting, very fun. I've enjoyed the last season theme and this one sounds way better. So yeah, very excited to test this out. Now the second biggest piece of information in here is the new sets. I'm really pleased we're going to get our hands on some of them. I'm also actually quite pleased they've split them up, because I think what it probably indicates is that for the next few seasons at least we're going to get a new set. I think that's going to bring a lot of passion back to the game. It's going to bring people back every time for the season, at least for the next few seasons, so that's really cool. The Crusader set is the Aegeus of Valor, which, cool name, I like that, and it revolves around Fist of Heavens. So the 2-piece charge bolts from Fist of Heavens has a chance to cast another Fist of Heavens, so you get double Fist of Heavens occasionally. 4-piece hitting with Fist of Heavens reduces damage taken by 1% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 50%, so usual 4-piece 50% damage reduction, and 6-piece Fist of Heavens is going to get its damage increased by 10,000%. There are also some supporting items here. Dark Light has got its power increased as well, so obviously PTR these numbers can move, but basically it's a Fist of Heaven set. That's a pretty cool skill, it looks pretty cool, a set based around it I'm quite into. I do like the sound of that. And then the other set that we're going to get is Monk, and this is going to be a Tempest Rush Sweeping Wind set. So this is the Patterns of Justice, not quite as cool name, I prefer the Crusader one, but the 2-piece Sweeping Wind gains the effect of every rune. That's always really good utility. I'd have to go through the Sweeping Wind runes to work out exactly what we're getting. We get move speed buff, that sounds really nice for speeds, an extra 50% move speed. Once we get this up to 10 stacks, that sounds nice. And then attacker with Tempest Rush while Sweeping Wind is active will temporarily increase the size of Sweeping Wind, and after hitting over 30 times within a short period, we're also going to get a massive damage increase as well. So pretty much a run around really quickly with Tempest Rush going, and that sounds really nice. Tempest Rush, very good skill for the Monk, really classic lazy speed farm build, so look forward to playing with that quite a lot. And we're also going to get a couple of supporting buffs to Eye of the Storm, so Sweeping Wind hits exactly one enemy, it's going to get double damage, so that will help you out a lot with the Rift Guardian. Then Vengeful Wind is going to get changed. Now this obviously has implications for other builds, so Sweeping Wind will now stack up to 10 times, and it's going to give you a Sweeping Wind damage increase. Vengeful Wind, that will affect Sambuku as well, so we will get a supposed Slaughter of Sideways buff to Wave of Light. But new sets for the Monk and for the Crusader. Obviously I would have preferred Necro, that would have been my pick number 1, but still pretty interesting. I haven't mained either of these characters yet since moving to PC, so I will probably pick one of them. Now the next interesting thing I think we've got is some love for the Barbarian. Obviously we pitched for this on the channel a while ago on the basis of the fantastic Barb community proposal. The Wrath of the Waste set, the damage bonus now applies to Rend. That's pretty good, it means we can now use Rend builds. We're obviously getting some extra Rend love as well on Lamentation. That belt's getting its damage increased, or getting it damage multiplier to it, so it can stack. And I presume it also adds this, so it'll stack an extra 2 times, and then we get the damage increase. Ambo's Pride, we're also going to get attacking with Whirlwind applies Rend, and the total Rend damage is dealt over 1 second, so that's really nice. So what it means is that we'll Whirlwind and apply Rend at the same time. We're also getting a change to Hammer of the Ancients for the Barbarian, so when Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients are active, Hammer of the Ancients deals an extra 250% whilst we're using Remorseless, so that's a pretty nice change. The Fjord Cutter has also changed, so we now get Seismic Slam, attacks 50% faster and deals extra damage against slowed or chilled enemies. Now we do have the Chilling Aura taken away from this, but if you think about it, we'll have Bane of the Trapped in pretty much every build, so that will be up pretty much all the time. You'll have to work out how to proc at range. I think Seismic Slam does have a rune that you can proc at range, so that's interesting. Races of Destruction has increased. We're going to get the first 10 enemies hit by Seismic Slam, so that's quite nice. And then the Fury of the Ancient Shoulders have been changed so that the Ancients attack 100% faster. Can't really see that making much of a difference, I might be wrong, but yeah, so Barb has got some love. We've got a change to one of the sets, we've got some supporting items, so that's pretty interesting. And guys, I might have shown a sneak peek of this whilst we were recording, but there are 2 potentially pretty big nerfs in here. One is to Veers, because the Chantoda's Resolve set is getting changed. The scaled attack speed bonus to Wave of Destruction has been reduced. They've basically said, look, we adjusted this to the earlier change, we didn't expect it to be this strong, so we're bringing that in. So if you like Veers, you best get playing it this season, you best be squeezing every last drop out. We don't know how much a drop this is going to be, but obviously they're looking at it, so it could be significant, it could not be. And then the final nerf that we've got is to the Bone Ringer. Now this now caps at 60 stacks. Now this pretty much should hit Thorn's Necro. I'm not entirely sure how hard it's going to hit it, but 60 stacks is kind of about attacking for a minute, I guess, provided skeletons are commanded. So pretty much anything that you spend more than a minute attacking, or your skeletons do, is going to be significantly reduced. And basically what they've said is this is not meant to be something where you farm stacks for ages, 5+ minutes, and then the enemy just disappears. So Necrothorns RGK, that might well hit that pretty hard. And basically what they've said is it's not an engaging style of gameplay, and we don't want this to be the best experience or the top build for Necromancer. So fair plays to Blizz, hats off to them. I would completely agree with that statement. I personally don't like the build. Sorry to anybody who does like it. Obviously I'm precious about the builds that I like. I wouldn't want any of them going away, so I do feel for the Necrothorns, but it's not something that I play, so I'm I can see where they're coming from by changing this. Now other than that, guys, there's a few little bits. The Legacy of Dreams change that we covered on the channel a few days ago has gone through. It's going to be a higher drop rate, no idea what it is. And then there's a couple of other little changes. So Blighter's tentacles have now been changed. That's a bit weird, didn't see that coming. But yeah, the rest of the notes are there, guys, if you want to have a look through. But pretty much that's it in a nutshell. And the only other thing really is Greater Keystones are now subject to vacuum pickup, just to make them a little easier to pick up. Now obviously, guys, I was probably hoping that there might have been a bit more of an adjustment for Necro. I probably won't main in the next season given the changes we've got, but I do think the sets still need a bit of work for that. Now they have indicated, I think, that the next season's not going to be for a little bit after this, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get 2 rounds of PTR. There's a lot of stuff in here to test, but can't wait for Thursday. We'll have a good play of it. I'll make some videos on what I find. So that's it, guys. The notes in a nutshell, hopefully quite punchy. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up if you have. Comment below, what do you think you're going to look forward to trying out? Do you like the sound of these new sets? Yeah, let me know. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.